You ever notice how the men who give everything always seem to lose? You do all the right things. You're patient. You're kind. You prove your worth. You show up. You pursue her, just like the movies told you to. And the more you try to prove you're the one, the more she pulls away. It's a wound, isn't it? A deep, confusing ache. It makes you want to either chase harder or build a wall so high you'll never feel it again. But what if the entire game you've been taught to play is based on a lie? What if the harder you try to win love, the more you broadcast that you are not worthy of it? The truth is, a woman isn't attracted to the man who chases. She is magnetized by the man who doesn't need to. The man whose stillness is so profound, whose peace is so unshakable, that he becomes the calm in her storm. This isn't a strategy. This is an awakening. This is a journey into the 7 layers of your own power. We're not here to learn tactics. We're here to remember who you are. Before we begin this journey, I want to make one thing clear. These conversations we have here, they're like torches in the dark. They are the map, but they are not the path, the real path. The real work of transformation requires more than just listening. It requires commitment. If you feel ready to go deeper, to actually build your inner fortress instead of just talking about it, I've created a place for that very work. It's our inner circle. Inside, we don't just talk theory. We practice the alchemy. We learn how to sit in the fire. We build discipline from the inside out, and we do it together as a brotherhood. This is the forge for men who have decided to stop being the boat and start becoming the lighthouse. This is an invitation. When you join, you get lifetime access to all the tools, the deep coaching, and a community of men just like you. Click the first link in the description to begin the work. Build once. Stand forever. Now. Let's begin. Number 1. The hunger beneath the chase. First, we must be brutally honest. That feeling in your chest, that frantic energy that makes you check your phone, that urge to text again, to fix the silence, to prove yourself, that is not love. That is hunger. It's the echo of an old wound, a void inside that you believe she can fill. We chase in others what we have not yet found in ourselves. I've been there. For years, I operated like a high-performing beggar. I thought if I just achieved enough, gave enough, did enough, I would finally be worthy of love. My chase wasn't just for women. It was for approval from my boss. It was for validation from my friends. It was the desperate cry of a part of me that felt empty. It's the father wound for so many of us. We are still that little boy, standing outside a locked door, begging for the validation that never came. And now, we see her as the one who finally holds the key. So we chase. We perform. We text, we call, we do, and we call it love. But it's not. It's an audition, and here's the psychological truth. No woman is attracted to a man who is auditioning for her. She doesn't want to be your savior. She doesn't want to be your mother. She doesn't want to fill your void. She is starving to be in the presence of a man who is already whole. Your chase, your niceness, your desperate attempts to prove yourself, they all broadcast one devastating message. I am not enough on my own. Please choose me so I can feel complete. This is the first layer of awakening. To stop, to breathe, and to look at that hunger, not as something to be fed by her, but as something to be healed by you. So, the first question for your soul is this. When you feel that frantic urge to chase, who are you really trying to prove your worth to? Number 2, the law of energetic echo. Once you see the hunger, you can understand why the chase always fails. We live in a universe of echoes. You don't get back what you want. You don't even get back what you do. You get back what you are. Let's call this the law of energetic echo. If you have a tuning fork that is tuned to the note of C and you strike it, it will not make the G string across the room vibrate. It only vibrates what matches its own frequency. Your inner state is that tuning fork. I have a friend who is the classic nice guy. He takes women to fancy dinners. He buys flowers. He texts good morning and good night. He does all the actions of a good partner. But his energy, His frequency is screaming, "Please don't leave me. Please like me. I'm so afraid you'll see I'm not good enough." And the women he dates, they don't hear his words. They don't value his actions. They feel his terror. He is vibrating at the frequency of fear. So, what does the universe echo back? More reasons to be afraid. He attracts women who are avoidant, who test him or who leave, because his energy is inviting that chaos. Your actions are worthless if your energy contradicts them. This is why the man who chases fails. He thinks he is giving love, but he is projecting need. He thinks he is showing strength, but he is vibrating fear. She doesn't hear what you say. She feels what you are. The man who remains still. The man who has done his work. His tuning fork vibrates at a different frequency. It vibrates at peace. It vibrates at wholeness. It vibrates at purpose. And that frequency, peace, does not resonate with her chaos. It doesn't get drawn into the drama. Instead, it becomes a sound so clear, so rare, that her energy has no choice but to quiet down, just to hear it. So, the second challenging question is, if your actions are a 10, but your inner energy is a 2, what echo are you really sending out into the world? Number 3, the lighthouse and the storm. So, what is the alternative to the chase? It is not acting distant. It is not playing hard to get. Those are just more games. The alternative is to become the lighthouse. Let's be clear, her emotions are real. Life's chaos is real. A woman, especially one in touch with her feminine energy, is the storm. She is the ocean, wild, deep, beautiful, emotional, and sometimes terrifyingly chaotic. This is not a flaw. This is her power. The man who is chasing, he is a tiny, frantic boat. When her storm hits, he panics. He tries to control the ocean. He yells at the waves, "Why are you being so chaotic? Why are you so distant?" He tries to fix the storm. And he is swallowed by it. The reactive man is useless in a storm, the stoic man. The man who has found his stillness. He is the lighthouse. The lighthouse is built on a rock. Its foundation is deep. It does not fear the storm. It does not judge the storm. It does not chase the waves. It has one singular job, to be. It holds its ground. It keeps its light on. It is the one fixed point of certainty in the middle of the chaos. The storm can rage. The waves can crash. The wind can howl. The lighthouse simply stands. And the storm. It doesn't resent the lighthouse for its stillness. It depends on it. The lighthouse is the only thing that gives the storm a sense of direction. It is the only thing that proves the shore is real. When you stop being a frantic boat and you become the lighthouse, her entire dynamic with you changes. She is no longer afraid that her storm will swallow you. She stops testing you because you are no longer testable. She doesn't need you to fix her chaos. She needs you to be the man whose peace is stronger than her chaos. So the third question is this. When her storm hits, do you become another wave or do you become the lighthouse? Number 4, the alchemy of stillness. This is the part everyone skips. You cannot pretend to be the lighthouse. You cannot fake stillness. You must earn it. You must build it, stone by stone, and the only way to build it is to face your own storm. You cannot be the calm in her world until you have faced the chaos in yours. This is the great work. This is the alchemy. An alchemist in ancient times didn't try to create gold from nothing. He believed he could take something base, like lead, and through a process of fire and pressure, transform it into gold inside you. You have lead, we all do. Your lead is your anxiety, your jealousy, your need for validation, your fear of being abandoned. Your insecurity, the chasing man. He runs from his lead. When he feels that anxiety, he distracts himself. He texts her. He watches porn. He drinks. He does anything to avoid feeling that fire. The alchemist. The stoic. He does the opposite. He sits in the fire. When he feels that burning urge to text her, he stops, he puts the phone down. And he feels it. He welcomes the anxiety. He lets the fire of it burn in his chest. He breathes into it. He doesn't act. He doesn't react, he just holds. I did this. I remember a time when everything in me screamed to fix a silence. My heart was pounding. My mind was racing. I was terrified, and I made a choice. I would rather feel this pain than be the man who begs for a text. I sat. I breathed. I let the storm of my own fear rage. And after an hour, the storm passed. And I was still there. The lead didn't win, and in its place was a tiny, hard-won piece of gold. Peace. You must become your own lighthouse first. You must be the man who can sit in the fire of his own emotions without being burned. This is the work. It is not glorious. It is not fun. But it is the only thing that builds the foundation. So the fourth question is, what is the lead inside you that you've been running from? And are you finally willing to sit in the fire? Number 5, the mountain and the river. When you do this work, when you build your foundation, the entire dynamic of polarity changes. Think of it this way. Feminine energy, her energy, is a powerful river. It's meant to be wild, flowing, emotional, and creative. Masculine energy, your energy, is the mountain. It is the structure. The banks of the river. A river with no banks is just a swamp. A flood. It has no direction, no power, no beauty. A man who matches her chaos. The man who also becomes a frantic river. Creates a flood. There is no polarity. There is no attraction. There is just a mess. A man who tries to stop her flow. Who tells her she's too emotional or too much. He is a dam, and the river will either build up resentment and burst through, or it will turn stagnant and die. The truly attractive man. The man who is the lighthouse. He becomes the mountain. His stillness doesn't stop her river. It guides it. His strength provides the banks. His peace gives her the safety to flow. When she is with him, she can finally relax. She can be as wild and emotional as she needs to be, because she trusts deeply that his banks will hold. She knows his peace is not fragile. She knows her storm cannot destroy his mountain. This is the great dance. Her flow charges his stillness. His stillness holds her flow. This is the essence of deep, primal attraction. It's not about what you say or what car you drive. It's about whether your energy can provide a safe container for hers. She is not a problem to be solved. She is a river to be held. And when she feels that safety, that deep, unspoken, "I've got you," she will open in ways you cannot even imagine. Because she has been waiting her whole life for a mountain strong enough to let her be the river. So, the fifth question is, are you trying to dam her river, or are you becoming the mountain? Number 6, the gravity of a star. When you have done this work, when you faced your hunger, understood the echo, built your lighthouse, sat in your own fire, and become the mountain, something new happens, the shift that the original video talked about. The moment her craving begins. But it's not a craving. It's gravity. A man who chases is a comet. He's all fire, all light, all look at me. He burns bright, he makes a big show, and then he's gone. He has no center, no mass. A man who has built his inner fortress, who has alchemized his lead into gold. He has become a star. He isn't loud. He just is. He has a core. He generates his own light, his own heat. His heat is his purpose. His light is his peace, and stars, they don't chase anything. Stars have gravity. You stop being the comet trying to impress, and you become the sun. You focus on your own core. You burn for your own purpose, and she, like a planet, begins to feel the pull. She doesn't start chasing you. She is simply drawn into your orbit. She can't explain it. Why is she thinking about you? Why does every other man feel like a frantic little comet, and you feel like the center of the system? It's your mass, your spiritual mass, your emotional weight. You have become a man of substance. She will find herself moving toward you, not because you did anything, but because you became something. You became the fixed point. This is the ultimate reversal. You are no longer orbiting her validation. She is now beginning to feel the warmth and pull of your purpose. The game of chasing is over. The reality of gravity has begun. So, The sixth question: are you building your fire to impress? Or are you building your core to last? Number 7, the fortress and the gate. This is the final layer. This is how you live. You've become the lighthouse, the mountain, the star. You are a man of peace, but there is a danger. Many men on this journey confuse a fortress with a wall. A wall is built from fear. It's the cold, indifferent, I don't care attitude. It's a scar. It's a defense. It pushes everything away. A fortress is built from love. It is built from self-respect. A fortress is not a wall. A fortress has a gate. A wall is built from fear, and it keeps everyone out. The man who builds a wall becomes a prisoner inside his own defense. A fortress is built from strength. It has a gate that the master, the king, chooses when to open. The cold man. He has built a wall. The whole man. He has built a fortress. He is free. He can feel. He can connect. He can love. But he loves from a place of choice, not from a place of need. He opens the gate, not because he is lonely, but because he chooses to share the peace and abundance that exists inside his walls. This is the final victory. It is not to get her. It is to become so whole that you no longer need to. This journey doesn't end with this video. In fact, it's just beginning. This is a practice, a daily commitment. The work was never about getting the girl. The work has always been, and will always be, about becoming the man. Don't just watch this. Live it. Your life is calling you to become the lighthouse, and you do not have to stand on that tower alone. If this message, if this conversation resonated with something deep inside you, then this is your invitation. This is not just a channel. This is a forge. This is a brotherhood where we are learning to keep our light on together. Hit that subscribe button. But don't see it as a click. See it as a commitment to your future self. A declaration that you are ready to do the real work. Join the conversation in the comments. Share the lead you are transforming. Share the first stone you are laying for your fortress. Because your story might be the lighthouse for another brother in his storm. Stop chasing. Start building. The work begins now.